announced. Send your entries at least 3 weeks in advance to Church Spotlight, P.O. Box 1616, Greenville, South Carolina, 29602. All entries are subject to availability.
Program lined up for you today. Got some great music you don't want to miss. We got Algeron, Wright, and the Triumphant Praise, and they are going to rock the house tonight. I'm telling you, some really good music. And then we also have Cesar Perez. He's the author of The Great Pretender, and a fascinating book. I got to talk to Cesar right before the show and learn a little bit about this book. But we're also going to learn about the author. He's from Spain. He's been here for a while, and I think he's already gotten a southern accent, so but got a fascinating story. But we've got a great program. I don't want you to miss it. I also want you to utilize our phones, 244-1616. We got prayer partners standing by to take your call. If you don't know the Lord, tonight is the night to make that decision for Him. And want to get this book in your hands, First Steps, if you make that decision. Or if you're a pastor or somebody that's in a salvation ministry, y'all need some of these books, give us a call and we'll send some out to you. We're getting really close on time for Bulgaria. We'll be leaving here in just a couple of short weeks. So I want to remind the folks that help us put kids in summer camp. I know our mail out went out last weekend, or over this past weekend rather, and it's so important we help these kids in Bulgaria. This will be our 5th year going, and we'll be here next Monday with Betty to talk about the summer camp and what's coming up, because she leaves, like, I think the day after next Monday, I guess next Tuesday. So be sure to call in tonight with your pledge for Bulgaria. Help those kids out. We're going to send them some Turkish, or excuse me, this is Turkish Bibles and Bulgarian children's Bibles. So we really need your help to do that tonight. A lot of changes have been happening here lately at Channel 16 the last couple of weeks. If you've noticed, 16.4 is now Light TV, and I hope you're enjoying that. We've gotten some good feedback from that. We've also gotten some feedback from the new schedule on 16.2. And a lot of people missed their old shows. And in fact, we've accommodated the schedule this week to try to tweak it a little bit more to make y'all happy. And so if you've got a concern or a complaint about 16.2, I want to hear from you. Best way to get a hold of me, email. If you got a concern or complaint about 16.2, or if you like it, I want to get some positive feedback too. But you can email me programming@wggs16.com. That's my personal email address, and so shoot me an email. I think there was a doctor show. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head. We got dozens, probably 25, 30 calls about that show last week, and so we moved it back to its 11 o'clock slot. So I listen to you, so call me and let me know, or email me, let me know what you think, and we'll try to accommodate you. So, but it's going to be a good program. I want y'all to stick around, and right now we're going to go to some music. Is the music singers ready? Music's not ready yet. Okay, but well, let me think of what else I need to talk about. Let me think here. We got a lot going on with our website and Facebook and social media all over the place. I want to encourage you to utilize that. I know a lot of times people travel, don't want to miss Nite Line or Down Home Gospel. You can always go to our Facebook page, which just search for WGGS TV on Facebook. You can go to our website, WGGS16.com. And you can go to YouTube, just search WGGS TV on YouTube. And now on YouTube and Facebook, we only stream Nite Line and Down Home Gospel. So if you go on there, in the morning or something, we won't be streaming on there. But on our website, we stream 24/7. So I hope you'll utilize that. Also, dubroadcasting.com, which is right there on the bottom of the screen. We have a prayer request form on there. So if you don't want to call in and talk to our prayer partners, you can just go to your computer and email us your prayer request. And all those prayer requests come into my email and also others here at the TV station. Also, like the First Steps booklet and other booklets are on there free to download. So be sure to download those if you want to save us some shipping, and we actually probably need to get some more of these printed soon. So if you want to download that, be sure to do that as well. But anyway, great music coming up. Algeron Wright and Triumphant Praise, singing High and Lifted Up.
Come on, put your hands together and give God praise. Come on, Triumph. Come on, make some noise. In this house, He's high and lifted up. He is high and He's lifted up. Yes, He is. He is high and lifted up. He is worthy of the honor. He is high and lifted up. If you have a praise on this afternoon, you ought to give God praise. Hey, He is high and lifted up. Come on, let me hear you. He is high and lifted up. He is, yes, He is. He's worthy of the honor. He is high and lifted up. That's it. I see you right where you are. He is high and He's lifted up. He is high and lifted up. He is, yes, He is. He's worthy of the honor. He is high and lifted up. Oh, I'm feeling it right now. Somebody ought to give God praise. Think of His goodness. He is. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. He's high, yes, He is. He's worthy of the honor. He is high and lifted up. Well, put your hands on it. Listen, He has given him a name above every name. And at the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Come on, say, He's high. He's high and lifted. 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 Oh, high. He's high and lifted. He's King of kings and Lord of lords. He's high and lifted. He's high and
Thank you so much, Algeron Wright and Triumphant Praise. And they're going to be here all night blessing us with music. And Algeron's going to join us in the second hour over here on the talk set. Thank y'all so much. Doing a wonderful job. Wish I had that talent, that's for sure. But my first guest tonight is Cesar Perez. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And Cesar, you're an author. You've written 2 books, but we're going to be talking about your latest book, The Great Pretender, tonight. But first off, let's learn a little bit about Cesar. You were born in Spain and moved to the U.S. Talk to us about Spain and your whole coming to America type of deal.
So can I start by saying one thing?
Go ahead.
That's not fair. Those things are, I cannot follow up that. They set the bar right here.
Now you know how I feel every Monday when I'm on
and everybody's
here.
going to be like, this guy's just not cutting it, so give me a chance.
I get it all the time, brother.
Yes. So yes, I am from Spain, and I was an exchange student when I was in high school. Back, I'm not going to tell you the year, but this was my sophomore year in high school.
Like 2014, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a couple years ago. So I was in Idaho for a year, and my dad asked me, do you want to do it again? You know, just keep the English going, get it a little bit better. As you can see from the accent, you don't lose it all, but I've been working on it. So the next year I was sent to South Carolina, and I loved it here, but at some point I was ready to go home and just resume my life there. But 2 or 3 weeks before I was supposed to go back to Spain, I fell in love.
I was going to say, did you meet a girl?
I met a girl. I went back to Spain, and then I told my dad, this is the one. And so they supported me, and here I am.
Wow.
About 29, 30 years later.
Wow. 4
kids later, and just meant to be.
That's awesome. Well, now, were you raised in a Christian home in Spain, or how is Christianity in the region you're from in Spain, I guess?
So Spain is Catholic, but very non-practicing. Growing up, I met very few people that actually practiced. So on top of that, I was at a boarding school, and those were some rough years. The priests that were there, they were not very good at sharing the gospel. So it was I kind of got turned off against religion. That is not trying to characterize the Catholic Church at all.
Right,
it's just this place was different. So when I came here, I was very turned off by religion. So especially coming to the South, when I started to meet real Christians, it was quite the culture shock, even more so than the food and the places and the language. It didn't feel real to me. It just felt put on. But over time, I realized that it was very much real.
Right.
And I realized that I had a sinful nature that I needed help with, and that I could only get that from Jesus himself.
Yeah. I know I spent a lot of time in Bulgaria, and over there it's Orthodox church. And it's just very ritualistic. You know, you go to church because it's kind of what you do on Sunday. You know, it's not that you want to go to church, you want to be there to feed your soul. You just go because that's what you do. You know, it's kind of like, you know, anything, kind of a social gathering, and then it's very scripted, and, you know, that's it. There's no real relationship or growing in a lot, you know, like the Orthodox Church. So when we're in evangelical churches over there, it's just totally different. And, you know, even over there, the people get blown away that's coming from an Orthodox background. And they feel that, you know, the Holy Spirit for the first time. Maybe. And, you know, I'm not saying the Orthodox doesn't do a lot of good. They do. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in the Orthodox Church going to heaven and that's saved. But, you know, it's just a lot different when you start seeking that relationship with Christ. So
the fun part was when I would go back to Spain to visit family and friends, and I was not a Christian. I talked different. I really wanted to share my faith with them, and they were really kind of wondering what had happened to me here.
Did your parents see a big difference in your life?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
They just wondered what they did to my brain here. You know, but over time, though, the more that I would once you share the message, you share the message. Then he was like, you need to be quiet and just live it. Let them see a different person. That started to really help them see that it was real, that there really had been a change, and that this Cesar was a whole lot better than the other one.
Right. Now, do you still have brothers and sisters in Spain?
I have a sister.
Your father's still there.
My father's there. I have my sister in Spain. My brother is here, he lives in Jacksonville.
Okay.
He's been here about 3 or 4 years.
Okay. So do you get to make it to Europe often, to Spain often?
I don't get to make it too often. We're busy. We have 4 children, work.
Well, like you said, this is
expensive.
home to you now.
Yeah,
so
this is home, but I definitely would like to go more often. And the next time we go, we want to take our kids.
That'd be fun. Have they ever been before?
My daughter was there when she was about 1 year old.
Okay.
And and my second daughter, Madison, she's been there, but she was still in the oven. She was still cooking. So
wasn't quite done yet.
yeah,
right?
she wasn't quite done. So she doesn't remember a whole lot of it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, how long ago was it? Now you go to Taylor's First Baptist.
I
now.
do.
I've been there for, a couple
About 13 years.
14 years. That's awesome. When was it when God really started talking to you, saying that, I want you to start writing for me?
So that was probably actually when I wrote my first book. It's fiction, but it had a lot to do with my actual history because I wanted to share that story. But I fictionalized it to some extent. When I first started writing it, I wasn't as close a Christian as I became. So I did that more from a sort of fictionalized autobiography type standpoint.
Right. And I like that. People tell me, I've had it occasionally, you need to write a biography or something like. I never thought about a fictionalized autobiography. I can make myself thinner and smarter and better looking in the book. I like that a lot.
Well, it was really funny, though, because I gave it to, when you write a book, it's got a lot of issues that you don't see because you're like, I think it's ready, and people read it and they're like, what were you thinking? So I actually gave it to one of my professors at USC Upstate, and he marked it, and he basically wrote a lot of comments just like, you're really awesome. I mean, like, you really are awesome. So I had to kind of, get more real with it. But this other book, this was just things that I was very convicted of, and that I wanted to tell through story form.
Yeah. Well, how long has this book been out? Again, it's called The Great Pretender, and is that the Ashley Bridge there, or is that the?
So it's set in Charleston, and the book just came out in February.
Excellent. So it's hot off the press then.
Yes.
So talk to us about. Of course, this is your second book. Leading up to this book, what gave you the idea for the book? Was there anything going on in your life or in lives around you?
So it was very interesting. My son and I had gone to, about 9 years ago, we went to a baseball game to see his nephew playing. And after that, we went to eat at Ryan's whenever Ryan's were more around.
We miss
Ryan's.
Ryan's.
Yeah, I know. And we were just sitting there, and I just noticed a man sitting by himself in a table, and he just had this look about him that really like, he was really troubled, and my mind just kind of started going to, he looks so troubled. I wonder what happened to him. So I just created a story around that, and I really wanted to, I think there's 2 things that are really important to be able to share the gospel. One of them is apologetics, and the other one is relationship. You have to be able to create a relationship with somebody to earn their trust in the ability to share something as personal as the gospel. And apologetics being just common sense explanations that help people understand the Christian faith, and provide evidence that it is true. But most people are not really going to pick up an apologetics book unless they're really interested in it. So I wanted to weave in those arguments and, of course, build a relationship so that hopefully that opens up people to think differently and maybe consider things that they've never considered before. But you're in the story and these characters. There's a ton of things that happen in the book. I'm sure we'll
We're going
talk
to
about
dive
to some
into
extent.
it in a minute, yes, for sure.
But I just wanted to share, to some extent, apologetic arguments and build a relationship with the reader so that they could trust the characters and trust the story and trust the truth that's behind it.
Right. I like that because you got to have both, not only apologetics and relationship, but relationships with God, your relationship with God, and relationship with who you're trying to witness to.
Correct.
It's so hard to convince a stranger that you need to follow a stranger. If you don't know God and you're not on that personal relationship, why should somebody believe you or even listen to you?
Right.
So we need to get our heart, our relationship right first. I mean, now don't, once you get saved, don't wait to share it with other people until your relationships have that perfect goal by any means. But it's hard to explain to a stranger about a stranger for you. So, wow. But yeah, let's take a break for a song. When we come back, I want to dig into the story because it's so relevant for now. I mean, this book came out in a good time in our history. What we're seeing on the news with, atheism and all the liberal things that's coming out, that when you moved to the U.S., it wasn't like this, was it, Cesar?
It was very different.
Very different. And, of course, a lot of the things that's going on in our country today, the rest of the world has known for years, and I still believe that God has his hand on America, and I still believe that we're in the Bible Belt of America,
Absolutely.
But America's changing, and we cannot change with it, and I think it's not too late to get it back to God.
Correct.
That's for
Absolutely.
sure. So right now, let's take a break for a song. Algeron, Wright, and Triumphant Praise are singing another wonderful song, Ready to Serve.
Tried for oh so long, trying to do it on my own, not even considering all that you've done. All I wanted to do was play and have fun. Didn't even realize that it was you, Lord, that kept me from all of those dangers that wanted to hurt me. After all these years, now I'm ready to serve. Do you hear me? I have tried. I've tried for so long. I tried to do it on my all that you've done. All I wanted to do was play and have fun. Didn't even realize that it was you, Lord, that kept me from all of those dangers that wanted to hurt me. Oh, but now I'm ready to serve. Can I tell you about me? Now I'm ready to serve. Somebody ought to give God praise right there. Somebody ought to give him praise there. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
All right, thank you so much, Algeron. Beautiful music and triumphant praise. The name fits. You guys are doing a great job tonight. I want to encourage you to keep going to the phones, 244-1616. We've got prayer partners standing by to take your call. Whatever your need is, God can meet it and exceed it, that's for sure. I mean, we're talking about a God that gave his son to die for us. He loves you, okay? And he can fix your ailments. He can mend your family. He can put lives back together. If you're in prison, he can get you out of prison. I've seen it before. So go to the phones tonight with your prayer requests and your praise reports. We want to celebrate with you of what God's done in your life. So it helps encourage not only me, but the viewers at home. And maybe somebody's going through a similar situation and can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if you share that praise report with us, and that person hears that can give them the hope that they need to get through it. So go to the phones, 244-1616. We're going to continue our conversation with Cesar Perez, author of The Great Pretender. Beautiful cover, by the way.
Thank you.
And right before the show, I got on Amazon. And
Did you get one?
I'm going to. I'm going to
Okay.
get a Kindle edition because I've got, I don't know, 100-something books on this thing right here. I mean, I love soft editions. But you had 5 out of 5 star reviews on Amazon. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. So I saw that and I was like, man, I'm going to have to step up tonight. I got a 5-star author on tonight. So, but tell us about the book and tell us about the characters in the book.
Okay. So the book, if I can summarize it, is about this man who grew up as an atheist and rejected God all of his life. And he's come to a point in his life where he's got these gnawing questions that have to be answered that he can't put aside. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What happens after I die? So he's really struggling with this. And he sort of embarks in a journey of self-discovery. He just needs to be free of the life that he's in. And the people that he's around, because they're not helping a whole lot. They don't have the answers. So his quest takes him to Charleston, South Carolina, and that's why you have the Ravenel Bridge there.
That's the Ravenel Bridge,
yes, because unless they changed the name since we did the cover.
Okay.
But it's set in Charleston, and when he gets there, he meets a woman who is just full of life. She's got this vivacious nature and just this intoxicating spirit, and it's like nobody he's ever met, because most of the people where he lives are not very real. They just kind of pretend, especially because his dad is a very famous atheist and sort of spiritual guru of the time. So most people just pretend with him so that they can be associated.
Right.
Anyway, he falls in love with her, and there's a big catch. The reason that she is the way she is because she's a Christian. And that represents everything that he was raised to despise.
Right.
So as their relationship grows and their worldviews, he comes from the postmodern worldview, and she comes from the Christian worldview. They collide, and that forces him to start to re-examine everything that he was raised to believe. And it doesn't only force him; he wants to. And the book is about that journey through his crisis of belief, and how he reconciles everything that he is with everything that he's experiencing through her and other people, and who he ultimately decides to become.
Wow. Wow. You know, a lot of people in this day and age are atheists. I mean, science in the last couple of 100 years has really taken off and given us a lot of explanations for a lot of things. And people take them as fact and dogma. And that, of course, you know, we all know a couple 100 years ago, science also told us the world was flat. So,
Right.
you know, take it for what it is. But a lot of atheists now, their sole purpose in life is to crush Christianity, is to crush Christians, to hate anything that has to do with the Creator. And that just blows my mind. Now, I can understand people hating Christians because, I mean, from a worldly view, I mean, they see Christians, they bicker, they fight amongst themselves, they say, you're wrong, this is wrong, whatever, you know.
Right.
But to hate Christ, I mean, that makes no sense to me. This is a, you know, if you believe what it's telling you, or even if you don't believe, but just take it for what it is, or just listen to the story of Christ. It's just a story of love.
Right.
And how can you hate love? It's just beyond me. And that's just the devil inside of people, you know. But, and that's what we're in today. But how did the Christian, what was the girl's name in here?
Kate.
Kate. How did she handle this when she found out he was an atheist? Or did she reject him? Did she love him? Or can you give that away without divulging too much of the book? Again, folks, 5 stars right here.
5 stars. So she gives him a chance.
Yeah.
She doesn't judge him and completely gets away from him, because I mean, Jesus, when he was on earth, he was finding people that needed him, that needed God. So she gave him a chance. Of course, things will have to come to a point where she would not be able to be with him because they would be unequally yoked, and it just couldn't work out. But what's really interesting is the point that you brought up, because his father is he's anti-religion, and his whole mission in life has become to do 2 things: to disprove Christianity and to improve the theory of evolution. And he's a pretty egotistical guy, and he challenges a famous apologist, a famous prover of the faith, if you will, to a national debate, where they're going to debate 2 things. Is there such a thing as ultimate truth, and is there a God? And if there's a God, does he really want a relationship with us? So there's different set of events that happens, and her dad ends up being the one that has to take the place to debate him.
Wow.
So a little spoiler alert, but there's plenty of twists, so there's tons of them. But of course, that really challenges their relationship.
Right,
But it's a God thing, because when Nathan, he's the main character of the book, when he's sitting there listening to the debate, her dad is using a lot of arguments that point to the fact that there has to be a creator, that everything that we see and feel and touch and smell has to be part of the creation, that even though we can't see God, because that's how he's chosen to be, that you can see his fingerprint and his design in absolutely everything. So he uses a lot of those examples that I actually play out the debate in the book. And Nathan's sitting there listening, and just like he's getting pricked, and something sparks inside of him that he really wants to find out more about it. And that's what sets him on that journey to go, I at least have to check it out, because if you don't believe in God, you probably have not thought about certain things that you owe to yourself to think about, and you'll find them there.
Well, I'm telling you, our atheist viewers, you only get one shot of this life. I mean, that's what Christians and atheists can agree on. You know, I don't think any atheists believe in, you know, reincarnation. You know, you deserve to look into this. I mean,
absolutely.
Just think if you're wrong. I mean, but to go back to evolutionists and people that don't believe in creation, when you think about it, if one molecule was birthed out of nothing, that would be a miracle.
Right.
But when you have billions and trillions of organisms that that we know of, probably more that we don't even know of, and then you look at what's in the universe, that the known and the unknown universe, there's no way it was just boom, it's here.
Right.
There's no way.
Right.
No way.
And I think about things like this all the time. just for us to be able to breathe. There are so many things that have to happen for us to be able to just breathe,
Right.
much less be able to support life.
Exactly.
I mean, you have to have trees that produce that oxygen for us to breathe. Trees have to have water that waters them. They have to have sun in order to do photosynthesis, for photosynthesis
Exactly.
to happen. And I'm just getting started. If you start to look at one thing and just follow the trail, be honest and follow the trail, wherever it might take you, and follow the trail, you'll find God there, because somebody had to do that. It's too complex otherwise.
Exactly. I mean, from just like you said, from the simplest thing of breathing to even the most complex or the large scale, I guess the better word, to our placement of our planet in relationship to our sun and what's around us. I mean, if we're just 1 degree off that way,
Right.
we wouldn't have a sustainable life on this planet. I mean,
Absolutely.
just amazing. And God created it all. And that same Creator, and this is what blows my mind every time I think of it. That same Creator loves me and loves you, Cesar.
Right.
Knows us, knows how many hairs is on our head, as the Bible says. Cares about us, cares so much that, He sent His Son to die for us. And
Right.
that's love. And again, how somebody could take that beyond.
Absolutely.
So I'm encouraging you to get the book. Get the book, folks. I want to get back. We want to take a break for a song just a minute. But when we come back, I want to know your goals for the book, what you accomplished, and who the primary reader should be for the book. I think it'll appeal to everybody, but I'm telling you right now, if you have somebody in your friends or family that is an atheist, or maybe they have a lot of questions, get them this book. You can hand an atheist this book, they'll burn it. They'll do whatever they want. I don't know if they'll burn it, but they won't read it. Or if they do, I don't know. But a fictional, book like this, somebody will sit down and read.
Absolutely.
Somebody will read it. So that's what I love about television. People that wouldn't normally go to church, they can sit there watching it. Maybe they're in an atheist house, like we're talking about, that maybe it's shunned for Christianity. We can get into that house. Or maybe they're in a country, they can watch online. And there's ways to get the gospel. And that's exciting to me. So anyway, we'll be right back with more Cesar and the Great Pretender. But right now, Algeron, Wright, and Triumphant Praise, we praise your name.
Well, we just came to give God praise. I'm so honored to be able to introduce this new praise to you guys here on Nite Line for the first time. Triumph, are you ready? Here we go. Lord of Lords, King of Kings, how we praise your name. Lord, you are so wonderful, forever we will sing. Everybody say, King of Kings, how we praise your name. Lord, you are so wonderful, forever. Here we go. Almighty God, who we praise your name. Let all of heaven and earth standing We praise your name.
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 We praise
Here we
your
go.
name.
We praise your name.
We praise your name.
We praise your name.
We praise your name.
We praise your
We
name.
praise your name.
We praise your
We
name.
praise your name.
Anybody want to pray?
We 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 praise your name.
Oh, pray.
We praise your name.
Oh, pray.
We praise your name.
Oh, pray.
We praise your name.
Oh.
We praise your name.
Praise him in the morning.
We praise your name.
Praise him in the
We
noonday.
praise your name.
Praise him with the sun.
We praise your name. We praise your name.
We praise your
We
name.
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 praise your name.
Sick in my body.
We praise your name.
No money in my
We
pocket.
praise your name.
I know that
We praise your name.
you are able.
We praise your name.
We praise your
We
name.
praise your name.
We praise your
We
name.
praise your name.
We praise your
We
name.
praise your name.
High. Almighty. We praise.
We praise your name.
Sight.
Let all of heaven and earth
Standing.
stand and proclaim. Almighty God,
Our Prince of Peace.
our Prince of Peace.
We honor you
We honor you
and praise.
and praise your name.
We honor you
Honor you
and praise.
and praise your name.
Thank you, Jesus. We honor you
Honor you
and praise. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Alrighty, Algeron, Wright, and Triumphant Praise, doing a great job. We're going to wrap up this hour here in a few minutes with Cesar Perez, again, author of The Great Pretender. And if you're just joining us, atheist meets Christian, atheist, Christian fall in love, atheist gets his world turned upside down. That's pretty much it.
You got it, yeah.
How is the response? The book just came out in February, so it's only been out several months. How's the response from the book?
So the response that I've gotten is really good so far. People from all walks of life have read it, and I've gotten really good response. Now I have to give credit to people that I've used to help me edit it.
Oh yeah.
I worked with the company in New York City to actually go through the content and point areas. They didn't change anything, but they pointed areas. And it was really neat because the lady, I think it was a lady, that went through that process. She basically told me through one of the comments that she was an atheist.
Wow.
She just basically said, as an atheist, blah, blah, blah. So she started battling me back and forth over some of the things that I wrote, and it was great.
Wow.
It was really awesome because I didn't want it to just be one-sided. I wanted to be fair to both sides.
Right.
Because one of the goals the main goal is to share the gospel. But I wanted to contrast these two very opposing worldviews, the Christian worldview and the postmodern worldview, and their impact on people's lives. And just kind of build a case for both so that it's fair and so that it doesn't sound like I'm bashing anybody, because I'm not trying to bash anybody. I love them. That's why I wanted to spend the time to write this, to hopefully give them more clear information to understand Christianity a little bit better and give it more of a chance. It's also, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's also a book for the believer, because poor old Nathan, he goes through some up and downs, and
bet he does.
especially if you read the first 2 chapters, He's in a real mess, and but God has never given up on him. He's going to give him another chance. So I hope that a believer will read it, and as they're going through these up and downs, some things are going to make more sense, and they might see some areas where they realize that they're not as close to God in those areas as they would like to, and maybe prompts that conversation, and they can go on with a more meaningful relationship.
Right. That's awesome. I love that it was already ministering before it was even out. You know, that's so cool.
That was really cool.
That is awesome, you know. And you can't bash the unbelievers. I mean, what if, I mean, look at Christ. He never bashed anybody. I mean, he got kind of mad at the money changers. That's about it, you know. He didn't say, oh, you know, you're going to hell. No, he said, you need to follow me and get your life right, you know.
Right.
But we can't say, well, we hate you because you don't believe in Jesus. We love you. We love you as Christ loved you. And I've seen it too much, and when you start bashing atheists or any other religion for that matter, that turns people off so quick.
Right.
And it's not showing the love of God through us. I mean, it's showing our own, you know, humanity, I guess, our own idiotic mind, I mean, at that point. And we've got to get out of that and get in the supernatural with Christ, even though it's hard. I've got atheist friends. It's hard, you know, and I'm sure it's hard for them too. I'm sure it wasn't easy for Nathan or Kate. So that's funny. So, well, where do you see the book going from here? Like I said, it's only been out a couple months. I want to make sure you get this. Again, Amazon.com, 5 stars. That's impressive. I mean, I buy a lot from Amazon and online things. You don't see many 5 stars. And I don't mean it was like 4.5, 4 3/4. It was a solid 5 on there. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
But where can they find it locally if maybe they don't have access to a computer? Or
So it's available at some of our local bookstores. M. Judson Books in downtown Greenville.
Okay.
Fiction Addiction, close to the mall. The books on the shops on Trade in Greer, downtown Greer, and then Hub City Bookshop in Spartanburg.
Awesome.
So they carry it, and I'm very thankful to them. And I'll actually be doing a book signing this Saturday from 10 to 2 at M. Judson. There will be other writers there, but if anybody would like to come by, I would love to meet them.
Yeah.
And
now, where is that at again? Is that
M. Judson is in downtown Greenville.
And that's in downtown Greenville. What time does that start on Saturday?
It'll be, well, it's from 10 to 2.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
be there a while.
Man, that's exciting. So,
As far as where it goes, wherever God wants to take it. There's a lot of books out there. People have a lot of choices. And this was something that it took me about 8 or 9 years to write it, just because this is not my full-time job.
Right.
But it's something that every day it gnawed at me. It just called me. I had to do it. Just wouldn't leave me alone. So that's why I felt like it was something that God had commanded me to do.
Definitely.
And this was an act of obedience. And I think that's what happens to people when the Holy Spirit is pursuing them to do something. He's not going to leave you alone.
Right.
He's going to stay on you, and that's what happened here.
Exactly.
So I worked as hard as I could to make it the best it could be.
Yeah. And I mean, you're already getting that reward back for obeying him. I mean, you're already seeing, like, I go back to the publicist or editor or whatever they call them. You know, that even if she still believes the way she does, you planted that seed. You know, you opened her mind up to a creator, to God. And, you know, if that seed blossoms, that's awesome.
Right,
You know,
absolutely.
That is awesome. And that's my prayer for every show on here. Anytime we have guests on, I mean, our heart is just to win souls.
Right.
You know? And if you know, Christians can get out of it too, you know, something out of it, great. You know, if you're which I hope they get out of this program. But if that brings you closer to Christ, wonderful.
Right.
But our main goal is to win souls. I mean, and man, that's exciting. So,
And
how can people get a hold of you if they missed any of the information, or maybe want to have you come and speak or share?
So I think my email address is right there.
Right there.
And then you can go through my Facebook page.
Okay.
You just go to Facebook and search for The Great Pretender novel. And you can message me or I would be. I told God I will walk through any door as long as it's a door He's opening.
Exactly.
Even when you're not comfortable with, it's out of your comfort zone.
Like television.
Like television.
Yeah.
This has been really good. This has been great.
When I first started doing this, I was way outside of my comfort zone. Was writing a book, of course you had the first one, but even that first one, was that kind of nervous for you to start? Or?
Not really. It's a very lonely role. I mean, you're just sitting there by yourself, and when you have a real job, then you just have to find the time. You either get up early in the morning, or you stay up really late. But every time that I've sat down, writing is hard. It just you don't want to do it, but you have to do it if there's a story that you have to get out.
Right.
So. It was just extremely fulfilling, just to, when you get in the zone and you feel like there's something developing and you get to create these characters and you kind of get close to the characters.
Right.
They become very, very personal to you. And when the people that have read it have told me stories about, things that has made them feel, and who their favorite character is, and it just means a lot. So it's worth the work.
Good.
Very fulfilling.
Yeah. Is there a third book in Cesar Perez's mind?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm just going to have to find the time.
I hear you.
Yes, I would love to.
So get the book, The Great Pretender by Cesar Perez. I'm going to read this. I'm looking forward to this.
Thank you.
And again, put his information on the screen one last time, y'all. Facebook, The Great Pretender novel. And then there's your email on there, too. At Yahoo, but Amazon.com, both paperback and Kindle. And Kindle version. So, Cesar, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you
for
very
being
much.
Here. Man, it's been
Thank
an
you
honor.
so much.
And I look forward to the book, The Great Pretender. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to have some more great music and some more great guests. We'll be right back, y'all.
The local churches are inviting you. Just listen to this week's Church Spotlight. Angela Prim will be appearing at Praise in the Park at Pritchard Park in downtown Asheville Saturday, June 24th, 6 to 8 p.m. and at Harvest Time Assembly Sunday, June 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. Call 828-277-2937. Chaga Baptist Church in Westminster will have Vacation Bible School Wednesday, June 21st through the 24th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. nightly. For more information, call 864-647-5150. Church Spotlight is a public service announcement of Dove Broadcasting and TV 16. To have events announced, send your entries at least 3 weeks in advance to Church Spotlight, P.O. Box 1616, Greenville, South Carolina, 29602. All entries are subject to availability.
Hello friends, this is Archie Watkins of the Inspirations Quartet inviting you to come to Bryson City, North Carolina, the Great Smoky Mountains for the Singing in the Smokies, July the 1st through the 4th. That's at Inspiration Park in beautiful Bryson City, North Carolina. Come and spend a vacation with us. Ride the train, enjoy the canoeing, and enjoy good gospel music.
As parents, we all start with the best intentions to lay a solid foundation for our children. Whether they're toddlers or teens, kids can face a variety of problems that threaten family stability. The Boys Town National Hotline can help you put the pieces back together. Our trained counselors are available to listen, provide advice, and help put your family on solid ground. The Boys Town National Hotline, keeping your family safe, strong, and together. Call 800-448-3000 or visit boystown.org/.
Folks, welcome back to Nite Line. I hope you've been enjoying the program so far. Fascinating, Cesar Perez. I look forward to reading his book, The Great Pretender. I've also been enjoying the music, and I hope you have too. And Algeron's going to join me on set here in just a few minutes. But first, they're going to do a song for us and bless us in music. I want to encourage you to keep going to the phones, 244-1616. Or if you're maybe watching online, you can go to 800-849-3683. Or you can email us, dubbroadcasting.com. There's an email request or email form on there that you can send us. And that's why I got my phone up here, y'all. I'm not expecting a call. I'm expecting your email. So I'm waiting for those emails to come through. And we're going to pray over all those at the end of the program. I want to encourage you to utilize that. Our prayer partners are so sweet, so precious. They come up here and volunteer their time, not for me, but for you. And they're here for you. Honestly, we need some more prayer partners. If you're interested in volunteering your time up here at Dub Broadcasting, you've been looking for a prayer ministry to get involved in, just call Amanda. She's our prayer partner coordinator. She can walk you through the steps. It's a pretty easy process to get you signed up. Or you can call me and I can help you out. Also, talking about prayer ministries, I want to encourage you to come by the studios on July 1st, Saturday, July 1st. First Saturday of every month, we have our monthly prayer vigil, and that's from 10:30 to 2:30. And there's no cameras. You know, you don't have to worry about being on TV. It's just 4 hours of prayer and worship, and I know you'll be blessed by that. And I want to thank my aunt and uncle Bill and Nell Montgomery for, well, they approached me about that several years back. It's probably been 3 or 4 years now, maybe longer than that. Anyway, they really had that vision, and God had given them that dream, and so glad and thankful for them that continue to do that. And I know that the people that come out every Saturday is blessed by that, and I know the ministry here has been blessed by that. They lift us up every month, and we're seeing the results of those prayers, that's for sure. But right now, Algeron Wright singing and Triumphant Praise singing I'll Just Say Yes.
So honored to be able to minister this song by one of my favorite male vocalists, Mr. Brian Courtney Wilson. Glory to God. Hallelujah. I'll just say yes. You lead the way. I'm not afraid of what it means. 'Cause this life you gave is not my own. I'm trusting you to hear my yes and lead me on. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. My life is yours. Say,
I'll just say yes.
yes, Lord.
You lead the way.
Yes, Lord.
Not afraid of what it means for me to say.
'Cause this life you gave
Life you gave
is not my own. I'm trusting you.
trusting you to hear my yes and lead me on.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. My life is yours. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. My life is yours, and there is peace when I say yes. I might not see it now, but you say the best for all who trust you and obey. There is an answer, no more delay. And there is peace when I say yes. I might not see it now, but you say the best for all who trust. Anybody trust the Lord tonight? There is an answer. No more delay. I'll just say yes, yes, Lord. Do I have a witness out there? My life is yours. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. My life is yours. Say right there, yes, Lord. What are you waiting on? My life is yours. Yes, Lord. God is waiting on you, and He's waiting on you. Wherever you are, tell Him yes. Say yes, Lord. All He needs is a yes. All He needs is a yes. You're trying to find it, but tell Him yes. Yes, Lord. I'll do your will. I'll do your way. I'll go your way, oh Lord. Yes, Lord. If you lead me, Lord, I'll follow you. Your will is what's best. It's what's best for me. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. My life is yours. Thank you, Jesus. That's what he's waiting on. Tell him yes, right there in your home, wherever you are. That's what he needs. Tell him yes, my life is yours.
Algeron Wright, come on over, Algeron. I want to thank y'all so much for being here. You're doing a great job. Come on over, brother. And put his album back up on the screen. Latest album, that's a good-looking cover. I Really Love You. Welcome, brother. Thank you. You're doing a great job tonight.
Thank
wonderful,
you so much.
wonderful. And the choir doing a good job. Now, are these folks your friends and family or church members, or how'd y'all get together?
I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Anyway, where'd y'all meet up? Because y'all doing a good job tonight.
Wow, well, gosh, some of them I've known for a long time, and others God have recently blessed in my life. It seemed like I've known for years and years and years, but we've been traveling together this year
Awesome.
for a good while, and the band as well. We truly become a family.
Awesome. You know, that's a big deal nowadays, not only to travel with a choir like you do, but a band too. You know, so many people are cutting costs or whatnot of going to just tracks, but
Absolutely.
there's something so special about a live band. You guys are doing a great job tonight. That drummer's on it too, brother. You got your good drummer over there.
Don't tell them that, please.
It's going to their head. It's going to head. So now to talk good about you for a while, I guess.
Finally. No, I'm kidding.
Now your album, I Really Love You.
Yes.
Is this a solo, or is the choir with you, or how do you normally travel?
Well, actually, there is a large group on this album.
Okay.
It was produced by the same producer that produced my last full album, Roosevelt McLemore, along with Roderick Bowling out of Texas.
Okay.
Roderick produced the music. Roosevelt produced the vocals, which gave me that choir sound.
Awesome.
And so one of the guys there, he no longer sings with me. He's like a brother. I decided to feature him. And so I wanted to do a quick single to let folks know that I'm still around while I work on the full album.
Wow.
And so this group will definitely join me on the
Excellent.
full album.
You need them because they're great. I'm
Well,
telling
thank you.
They're great.
Thank you.
Well, now the music that you're singing tonight and on the single, is this music that you've written then?
All except the last song that we just sang.
Okay.
I'll just say yes. The last song is a song by Brian Courtney Wilson, who I've met. Wonderful guy and anointed singer, and he's definitely somebody I look up to. But back to me, yes.
Yeah.
The rest of the songs, the rest of the songs are songs that I've written, and of course, Roosevelt. Most of the songs have taken them from what I've sketched and took them to where they are. And then one of the other newer songs, "We Praise Your Name," I actually got with my band, and we kind of gave it the life that it has.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's always cool when I meet music guests on here. One thing, it's always, you know, crazy that people can sing like you can. I mean, that's just awesome. But then you throw in the mix of the talent that God's given you to write, too, on top of that. And, you know, you got the whole package. So, I wish I had half of that package. So, but anyway, people wouldn't watch TV if I tried to sing, you know. So
Now they might.
They would just
We like
change it,
reality
you know.
shows.
They would just change. yeah, that's what it is. It would be pure entertainment at that point. Trust me, nobody would be ministered out of that. So that's funny. Well, so when we've been talking to an author the first part of the show. He wrote 2 books, and is writing a song similar? Where do you get inspiration? Is it people around you, or things that you've gone through in your life when you write music?
Absolutely. It's a mixture. It's a mixture of the down times. It's a mixture of the happy times. I've lost 2 brothers. I'm 34, and I'll be 35 in September, and I'll probably outlive 2 of my older brothers.
Wow.
And so some of the songs comes from those times. But We Praise Your Name came from a place of happiness and peace. And so as I was speaking with my producer, I said, you know what? No more sad stories.
Yeah.
I want music that shows where I am now.
Yeah.
And that's just a new beginning, a new place of peace. So sometimes I'm riding along and I hear a hook or I hear something, or I'm just grateful for life.
Yeah.
Or I'm thinking about the group or something, and I'll say, you know, Lord, you know, what can we do to uplift people, to inspire people, or something that I need for myself? Because if not, we'll always write about what we're going through instead of glorifying God.
Yeah.
And so I decided, let me do some stuff that gets back to glorifying God.
So it's important for you to write in the good times and the bad times, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, your music is a way that you praise the Lord and you worship Him.
Absolutely.
And we can't stop worshiping and praising the Lord during those bad times. I mean, that's when we need Him most. But
That's right.
so sad that so many people, you know, might have a loss or has experienced loss and let that loss get them away from God, you know. But it should just draw us closer to Him. And we got to love Him in the good times and the bad, you know.
The good and the bad.
So y'all are from the Midlands, kind of the Swansea, Columbia area.
Yes.
Are y'all traveling full time now, or you just starting to get out there? And where all have you been?
Wow. Well, I've been traveling a long time, but I always tease. You know, I like to be able to afford things, and I like to eat. I like to be able to pay my bills.
Yeah.
And so I get up every morning and I go to work Monday through Friday. But God is faithful. God is good because I don't have to beg for opportunities to minister or be booked, as they call it. I do my best to be faithful in my tithes, as my parents teaches. I'll pay your tithes, and when I do, the phone doesn't stop ringing.
Wow.
And so I'm grateful to that. So lately we've been being busy, and I come to appreciate the downtime because again, we're all professionals that are up there singing. I mean, literally, we're all professionals in different fields, and so what we do, I mean, we have some teachers, I mean, just different professions, and so what we do, we enjoy doing. We glorify God, and God is blessing, and when He's ready for us to go full time, we'll say we're available.
Yeah.
But we don't mind. There's an artist by the name of J.J. Harrison who has one of the #1 gospel songs, and everyone was shocked when he literally announced that he just retired from his job after 20 years.
Wow.
And he's been on the Stellars. He's been all over the place.
And he still had a 9-to-5 job during that time.
Still had a 9-to-5. He said he used his vacation days or time off to travel, and he had he literally had a choir.
Wow.
And so, you know, I wasn't surprised because I believed in having a job. Now I believed in working in an area that I enjoy.
What do you do for work?
I
Do
work
you work in music?
I don't work in music.
Okay.
Don't know why, but I don't. But I work at a college, Midlands Technical College, in human resources.
Oh, awesome.
And so I do enjoy doing that. I don't mind going to work every day. And so besides music ministry and preaching ministry, I also work in human resources. So I get to do what I enjoy. And that was my prayer. God, if I have to do both, let me do something I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I like your attitude. I mean, all through this interview, I'm hearing that, I mean, you're honoring God. You know, like through your tithes, through if you have to work, you're happy to do it. And I mean, as long as you honor God, God's going to honor you. And it's so cool when God opens doors. Like you said, you don't have to go out begging. here's an open door. You walk
right.
through it. He opens another one over here. You go through that one.
That's right.
And look where you are, at the pinnacle of your career, right here with me. I'm messing with you.
I'm glad to be here.
A lot of people, this is the low of their career, let me tell you.
No, it's not. A lot of people need to
That's
be on
funny.
television and be seen.
That's funny.
But I'm here.
Well, I know people I know people are at home and are enjoying y'all's music tonight.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
If people want to enjoy it more, how can they get your single, your previous albums, the new album coming out? When is it going to be out? Is it going to be this quarter, you think?
That's a good question. I should have made my producer come up here and answer that. But right now it's on, this single is on iTunes. It's available now. And previous projects are online and in the Christian bookstores as well. A lot of stores are getting away from CDs, but they're in the Christian bookstores live with family and friends, which features a lot of friends and family. My mom, my brother are on there. But they can reach me on social media. I do my own pages. Facebook, it's my name, first and last name, Algeron Wright. And that's my personal email address.
Excellent.
And so hit me up, as long as it's about Jesus.
There you go. And I'm sure you'll take any tours or any kind of dates that comes your way. But what do you have that's coming up? Do you know off the top of your head, or did I put you on the spot?
Absolutely. Well, I'll be at GMWA. Well, first we have an outdoor event in Orangeburg, South Carolina. I always enjoy going to this church because they give back to the community. They give out book bags and supplies to all of the youth that comes out. And it's not a huge ministry at that. And they always bring me in my group, and we go and minister, and they feed the whole community.
Awesome.
Free food, free gifts, and those type things. So it's a blessing. And then I'll be at the Gospel Music Workshop of America after I get back from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, from vacation.
There you go.
And then
you'll deserve it after all this, man.
yes,
Wow.
the mountains. But we'll be at the Gospel Music Workshop of America, and it's their 50th anniversary.
Wow.
And so I'm excited to be participating in that 50th tribute.
Yeah. Now, where is that at? Is that in the Midlands, or is that?
It's in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta.
This year.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
But I've had the
Is that
opportunity.
in July?
It is in July.
Okay, I've heard about that now that you mention it. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
going to try to make it down there because I can get a lot of good music guests from that. that's
Yes,
for
you
sure.
can. Yes, you can.
That's for
You'll
sure.
be happy to come.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
But I wanted them to put Algeron's information back on the screen. Algeron, we're going to let you slip off of here and sing us one last song. I want to thank you so much for coming tonight, brother.
Absolutely.
So, there it is, Algeron Wright, and he is here with Triumphant Praise. 803-596-0930 or algeronwright@gmail.com. Follow him on Facebook at Algeron Wright. And get the single, get the old CDs, the old albums, and you'll be blessed by it. And call or email them and get them booked in your church or at your event. I mean, I'm blessed tonight, and I always say this on TV, the only thing better than watching good music on TV is going to see it live. So have them in your church. But right now, Algeron and the Triumphant Praise is going to close us out with Bless the Lord.
Well, we want to take it back a little bit. Here we go. I will bless. Say. Bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord.
I will bless. Bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord.
I will bless.
local churches are inviting you. Just listen to this week's Church Spotlight. Faith Tabernacle Holiness Church in Toccoa, Georgia will have a love offering concert Friday, June 23rd, 7 p.m., featuring the Atkins family. This will be a benefit to help with medical bills for John Chambers, who has cancer. For more information or make a donation, call 706-244-0211.